Iowa for a game. Now, with that being said, we have to talk about this. Iowa is one of the most popular schools in all of the college basketball world because of simply one superstar player, and that is Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark transitioned and transformed women basketball to the shape that we know it to be today. She carried on and did the same thing in her professional career with the W. Now, everything started at Carver. Everything started when she was in college. Now, I said this before, and I'll say this again. Wasn't no one covering Caitlin Clark?
Iowa's women's basketball program has experienced remarkable transformation, with head coach Jensen recently acknowledging what many observers have long suspected. Caitlin Clark continues to play a significant role in attracting elite prospects to the Hawkeyes, despite having moved on to professional basketball. The program enters another season with national recognition, building on momentum that began during Clark's collegiate tenure. The atmosphere at Carver Arena has become electric, drawing attention from across the country. Iowa has emerged as one of the most recognized programs in women's college basketball, largely due to the foundation laid by their former superstar. Clark revolutionized women's basketball during her time in Iowa City, carrying that influence into her WNBA career. The transformation began on campus, where she established new standards for the sport.
Caitlin Clark at Iowa, but your boy John the Liquidator and a few Iowa content creators. All of these guys that we know, love to watch. I ain't going to start naming people, but these guys was nowhere to be found when Caitlin Clark was breaking score records, when Caitlin Clark was doing all of these great things while she was at Iowa. And I'm honored to be one of the guys that was here early on, that was reporting on this. Go check my catalog. I've been reporting on Caitlin Clark since.
Early coverage of Clark's collegiate achievements was limited, with only dedicated local content creators documenting her record-breaking performances and exceptional play throughout her Iowa years. Before Clark's arrival, Iowa wasn't considered among the premier destinations for top recruits. The program didn't command the same prestige as established powerhouses like UConn or South Carolina. However, Clark's presence changed everything. She led the Hawkeyes to consecutive national championship appearances, and while titles proved elusive, the coaching staff demonstrated elite-level expertise. Lisa Bluder's basketball acumen reached a level where NBA coaching seemed within reach, showcasing the program's tactical sophistication.
Catalog. I've been reporting on Caitlin Clark since she was at Iowa. Now, with that being said, before Caitlin Clark got there, Iowa was not a go-to school. Like, people didn't really it wasn't like a check mark, like, I'm going to go to Iowa. It wasn't up there with like a UConn, South Carolina, or anything like that. Well, after Caitlin Clark went there, led them to back-to-back national championship games, and unfortunately, they didn't win, but the coaching staff is one of the best in the nation when it comes to basketball. Lisa Bluder arguably could coach an NBA team. That's how.
The current leadership under Jensen represents continuity and excellence. Jensen worked alongside Bluder throughout the program's rise, helping construct the competitive team that captivates audiences today. The Hawkeyes remain a dominant force, and Jensen has revealed that Clark's involvement has been instrumental in securing commitments from high-profile athletes currently on the roster. The modern landscape of college athletics revolves heavily around name, image, and likeness compensation. Understanding NIL dynamics is crucial to comprehending contemporary recruiting. Securing top-tier talent requires substantial financial investment, and collegiate sports have fundamentally shifted toward a pay-to-play model.
Could coach an NBA team. That's how basketball of a genius she is. Something else we have to talk about is their new current coach, Jensen. Jensen was there every step of the way through it all, alongside Lisa Bluder, putting this thing together and making sure this women's basketball team that we know and love to watch be on the top level that it is today. And I'm here to tell you, they are still a powerhouse school, and Jensen slipped the cat out the bag. That is letting the world know that Caitlin
Clark possesses considerable resources and influence. Anonymous contributions to Iowa's women's basketball NIL fund have reportedly provided the program with competitive advantages in recruiting battles. Clark's financial support could potentially sway elite prospects toward Iowa with substantial NIL packages. While unconfirmed, it's plausible that Clark has reshaped the roster through financial contributions alone. Iowa Sports Illustrated published a piece titled, "Our Head Coach Credits Caitlin Clark for Recruiting Success," highlighting this dynamic. The prospect of being recruited by Clark herself presents an unprecedented scenario.
Is letting the world know that Caitlin Clark played a pivotal role in them landing some of these big name athletes that we're seeing today. Now, I talked about this with a colleague of mine, and I said, man, with the state of NIL, people don't know how NIL works. See, in order to get some of these top athletes, you got to pay to play, bro. That's simply all these collegiate sports is now. It's pay to play. Caitlin Clark is a massive name. She has massive endless. I'm going to say
her involvement in recruitment could frustrate traditional powerhouses as she potentially visits prospects' homes alongside Jensen. Unlike other former stars who remain disconnected from their alma mater's recruiting efforts, Clark appears actively engaged. Her presence during recruitment visits, regardless of the sport, could elevate Iowa into a top-tier program across multiple disciplines simply through her association and willingness to assist coaching staffs in attracting talent. This NIL-driven recruiting environment has fundamentally altered collegiate athletics. Iowa has made substantial recruiting progress recently, securing commitments from highly ranked prospects. In April 2024, the program gained a commitment from Addie Deal, a premier California recruit.
Endless funds. Caitlin Clark just sent an anonymous donation to the Iowa women's basketball team NIL program, and boom, they playing top dollar for her alone. Damn near could get some of these big name young ladies to come to Iowa. Massive NIL deals with Caitlin Clark donating. Now, I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm just saying that very much could be the case that Caitlin Clark has single-handedly transformed the roster with her pocketbook alone, bro. Now, with that being said, this article.
The current season has already seen the addition of another five-star prospect. Jensen spoke with media about maintaining focus on retaining in-state talent while expanding recruiting efforts nationally. She credited Clark with attracting some of Iowa's top recruits, acknowledging that success would be significantly more difficult without the former point guard's ongoing involvement. During a recent media session, Jensen expressed gratitude toward the fan base for their unwavering support since the coaching staff's arrival and through her transition to head coach. Achieving 3 consecutive sellout seasons represents an extraordinary accomplishment, reflecting the program's strong identity and the passionate connection between team and community.
Transformed the roster with her pocketbook alone, bro. Now, with that being said, this article came out by Iowa Sports Illustrated. It said Iowa head coach credits Caitlin Clark for recruiting success. Could you imagine being recruited by Caitlin Clark, bro? Like, who's going to tell Caitlin no? Think about this, bro. Caitlin Clark is going to have all the UConn people mad, all the South Carolina people mad. Because I'm telling you right now, she's going to go pull up to your living room and she's going to recruit you to Iowa, bro. Name another player. Asia Wilson ain't recruiting players from South Carolina that we know of.
The current season presents unique challenges and opportunities, marking one of the most intriguing years in recent memory. The roster composition reveals significant youth, making this the youngest team since 2012. 9 of 14 players are freshmen or sophomores, with every team member assuming new responsibilities. The Big Ten features several young squads this season, creating competitive uncertainty. Veterans like Hannah Stuelke, Kylie Feuerbach, and Taylor McCabe will log substantial minutes, but each faces unfamiliar situations.
Asia Wilson ain't recruiting players from South Carolina that we know of. I'm just saying. Caitlin Clark is probably going to go to your living room with Jensen. Caitlin Clark right there in the room. She all good. You know, the young lady all awed out. And Caitlin Clark can recruit with football, basketball. It doesn't matter. Hockey. If they got a hockey, baseball, field hockey, track, field. Iowa got a gem in Caitlin Clark, bro. Caitlin Clark can help Iowa turn into a top 10 program at no damn time just because she went there and she could pull up to them liver.
Stuelke has never been the singular offensive focus throughout her 4-year career, always playing alongside exceptional teammates, including Clark. Last season featured Lucy Olson as a primary scoring option. Now, Stuelke emerges as the established commodity on a roster filled with promising youth. Feuerbach brings valuable experience as a 6th-year senior who has navigated transfers, injuries, and various roles. Her veteran presence proves invaluable for a young roster with high expectations.
All times where it looked like it absolutely was not. She was playing off the ball way too much. But what has surprised me about these comments is Sophie Cunningham is getting attacked. What? Why is this happening? And unfortunately, she's getting attacked from the haters and from some Caitlin Clark fans. Some Caitlin Clark fans. I don't know why. Some Caitlin Clark fans are saying, well, she shouldn't even say this out loud. And
Despite their accolades, freshmen remain freshmen, and portal transfers require time to absorb new systems. The situation creates both excitement and intrigue about how the team will develop. Questions about sustaining public interest following Clark's departure have emerged repeatedly. Iowa captured widespread attention during Clark's tenure, and maintaining that momentum 2 years removed from her presence represents a significant achievement. 3 consecutive sellout seasons demonstrate sustained engagement despite her absence from the roster.
say this out loud. And I'm like, but Sophie was on the team and knows what's going on. Everybody's got to ask for permission. I don't get that. I really don't. I think she's just stating something that we can all see with our own eyes if we're paying attention at all. But I think there is, and I've noticed this, there is a small group of Caitlin Clark fans and a small group of Indiana Fever fans that are anti-Sophie Cunningham.
The program's continued success stems from multiple factors. The team's playing style emphasizes heart and joy, creating entertaining basketball that resonates with audiences. Winning certainly helps maintain interest, but the fan base demonstrates loyalty regardless of outcomes. They feel invested in the program's journey, creating a community atmosphere similar to clubs or neighborhoods where members share genuine connections. The longevity of coaching staff leadership, first under Bluter and now Jensen, has fostered a club-like environment where supporters remain committed through challenges and triumphs.
Anti-Sophie Cunningham fans. All right? By the way, they're part of the old WNBA fandom, too. All right? I'm just pointing that out. And a lot of you fans know exactly what kind of fans those are and how they act. And then some just hate her because, well, for lack of a better way of putting it, Sophie's white and she's hot. I'm just being real. I'm just being real. So we're going.
Success depends heavily on fan support, making victories more meaningful and helping the program weather difficult losses. The fan base provides encouragement that pushes the team forward. Increased attention brings both praise and criticism, but that scrutiny has always existed to some degree. The coaching staff maintains a unified philosophy focused on creating positive experiences for every player, including those with limited playing time. When staff members work diligently to ensure all players feel valued, that joy becomes visible and contributes to sustained fan engagement and program success.
I'm just being real. I'm just being real. So we're going to look at some of the hate. We're going to listen to the comments and then look at some of these attacks.
Caitlin or like a healthy LeBron, wherever they go, that team will probably be above 500.
Yep. But
is that fair to say?
Yes, but I think that the reason behind that is because those types of athletes, they get to come into an organization, they have the green light and they can do whatever they want. Where that is very rare to get drafted and be able to control the whole system.
Right. Was CC making decisions?
Sophie Cunningham's recent statements regarding the Indiana Fever's offensive strategy have sparked considerable debate across basketball communities. Her position centers on what many consider a straightforward concept. Elite players like Caitlin Clark should serve as the focal point of their team's offensive approach. The Phoenix Mercury guard expressed views about how championship-caliber talents deserve to dictate game flow and tactical decisions. During her remarks, she indicated that such arrangements existed during her time playing alongside Clark. While observers witnessed moments when this philosophy appeared operational, there were equally notable instances where it seemed absent, with Clark operating away from primary ball handling duties more frequently than expected.
Making decisions like,
yeah,
within, yeah,
as she should,
no way.
As she should. But I also think that they. Go ahead.
That's crazy. I didn't realize that. She's just young. I just didn't think that.
But when you have a generational talent like that, she should have a lot to say of the system. I also think when you have
Caitlin or like a healthy LeBron, wherever they go.
Okay, so you heard it. If you've got a generational talent like that.
What's catching attention isn't merely the substance of Cunningham's observations, but the hostile reception they've received. Criticism has emerged from multiple directions, including both detractors of the league's rising stars and, surprisingly, supporters of Clark herself. A portion of Clark's fan base questions whether these topics should be addressed publicly at all. This reaction seems peculiar considering Cunningham's direct experience as a teammate provides legitimate perspective on internal team dynamics. The suggestion that approval should be sought before discussing observable game situations appears excessive.
So you heard it. If you've got a generational talent like that, she should make some of these decisions. Well, for whatever reason, this got her hate. And I'm not sure why. But here we go. I'm so sick of Sophie, bruh. Please get the hell on. What'd she do? Yapping too damn much as usual. I mean, she said nothing we don't know. Exactly.
Analysis reveals a particular segment within both Clark and Fever supporter groups that maintains opposition toward Cunningham. These individuals often overlap with traditional league followers who exhibit specific behavioral patterns. Additionally, some animosity appears rooted in factors unrelated to basketball, specifically regarding Cunningham's appearance and ethnicity. The controversy intensified around Cunningham's comparison between Clark and established superstars. During a conversation about how transformative players impact winning percentages, regardless of their destination, she acknowledged that such athletes receive unusual freedom upon entering organizations.
I mean, she said nothing we don't know. Exactly. I think this kind of thing is fairly obvious if you're paying attention. Seriously. She makes me wonder if the front office will call her back. I don't get it. The one player that physically in person took up for Caitlin Clark. I don't get it. I really don't. She says too much.
They possess authority to influence entire systems immediately after being drafted, which represents an uncommon privilege. When questioned whether Clark wielded such decision-making power, Cunningham confirmed this was indeed the case and emphasized it was appropriate. She elaborated that generational talents naturally should possess significant input regarding strategic frameworks. Her position maintained that players of Clark's caliber, similar to elite performers from other sports, elevate their franchises above mediocrity wherever they compete. Despite what appears to be straightforward praise, social media responses demonstrated hostility.
She says too much, and she's brought too much heat on Caitlin Clark with her antics. Again, she's the only one that has physically taken a stand against all these other athletes that's beating the crap out of. I mean, look, I'm sorry, but every other player on this team, none of them have physically stepped up. Physically stepped up. When something has went down on the court. When the drama started, Aaliyah Boston disappeared.
Complaints ranged from accusations of excessive discussion to suggestions that Cunningham's commentary brings unwanted attention. One recurring criticism claims she speaks too frequently about team matters. Various comments expressed fatigue with her public presence and suggested she pursue opportunities elsewhere. Notably, Cunningham stands as the sole Fever player who physically intervened when Clark faced aggressive play from opponents. During multiple